Allow me to introduce the man that is going to uncover the secrets to the home that you may be under contract for, and this is Nick Price. Nick Price, can you tell the world from like a 3,000-foot elevation level what it is that you do?
Well, thanks, Tyler, for having me, and hello, everybody. You make it sound like I'm somebody really important, but I'm not. But anyway, so my job is, to put it short, I want to make sure your dream home is certainly that dream and not a money pit.
Now, Nick, traditionally when you jump in, it's when the buyers went under contract for a home and they're in that 10-day inspection period for their due diligence. But let's say, what's kind of some advice that you may be able to give to a buyer before they even maybe write an offer on a home, to maybe be on the lookout for some things while they're touring a property?
When you're touring these houses and you're trying to find that right, perfect house, things that you can be looking out for are, really simple things like, our faucets dripping? Honestly, people are going to care for their house a lot like they're going to care for their vehicle. So even go back outside, is there oil stains on the driveway? You know what I mean? So that kind of tells you about maybe how the house is maintained. Some other things that you might look for: cracks in the walls, maybe holes in the walls, things like that. I know that it's exciting. It's a time where you're not really paying attention to the deep details. You're seeing the cosmetics. You're seeing those nice granite countertops. You're seeing new floors, new paint on walls. But be on the lookout for small things, little details. Do you hear the commode running? Floors being uneven. You have to kind of consider the age of a house, because some older homes are going to have some flaws maybe, or imperfections that a newer home is not going to have.
I absolutely love that, because ultimately, if you see the little things that weren't repaired, that could lead to the thought process that maybe there may be some more major mechanical things that weren't attended to as well. Now, you're in a lot of homes. You see all the things. Things that get remembered are probably memorable for a reason. What is one thing that you've seen through the inspection process that you just couldn't unsee?
That's a really good question, Tyler. Are we keeping this professional, or
Yeah.
what's the idea here? So early on, I guess you'd say, in my inspection years, I've been doing this almost 9 years now, so I've seen a thing or two. But I was doing a really big apartment complex, and I think it was 32 units that we had to look at. So my process was to go through, I'd knock on the door, I'd give it a few seconds, nobody'd come, I'd open the door, I'd go in and start my process. And so this particular apartment, I walk in, nobody came and answers the door. I walk in, I set my bag down, I go start my process. And so there was an electric panel in the back bedroom of each unit. And so that's kind of where I started. Again, nobody came to the door, nobody made a noise. All the lights were off. I walk in this bedroom and immediately see a naked woman. And so I immediately walked back out. So anyway, so that was a little funny thing that I cannot unsee. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say. So,
She was probably surprised to see you too.
Well, she didn't even know I was there. So that just, makes it even worse. So, from a more professional standpoint, it amazes me how neglectful people can be. Heating and air return filters, I've seen those things that look like they just have a quilt hanging off of it. I've seen termites under a house that literally had tunnels that looked like you went into a cave.
You can probably walk through a home and start noticing, like, oh, this outlet should be GFIC, or there's only a 2-prong on that outlet, so it's not going to have a ground wire. You can probably walk through a house and tell all these kind of things, but what are some of the tools that you use to kind of help, I don't know, I guess reinforce the findings that you see?
Right. I don't have a huge arsenal of tools, really, and I like to keep it plain and simple. Honestly, to do what I do, I really don't need that arsenal. There's nothing like hands-on an inspection where you can literally, put your hands on something and tell the condition of it. I did an inspection on a property that It was an investment type situation where that investor decided to hire another inspector, and I'm not knocking any inspectors here, but they, from what I understand, may have used one of those crawl bots to inspect the crawl space. I'm inspecting this house now, so I crawl under it, and with very little time under this house, I find microbial growth that almost a blind man can see. And I can strike the floor joists with my hand, and I can break the joist where the previous inspector noted that the floor structure was in sound condition, no repairs. So, that's the difference between, hands-on and fancy devices that the world has come up with. The advances in technology are not everything they're made up to be.
So Nick, we know that during the process, buyers don't just have to hire you, or sellers just don't have to expect you to come to their house if there's a contract. What are some other ways that you find to get hired to tell people more about their home?
My services are not just limited to, after you're in the process of buying a home. We do pre-listing inspections. We can go out and check everything out so that once you as the seller now have a new buyer for your home, you've already addressed all the problems that I might find, rather than now your contract is held up because you're looking at having to do repairs now, or maybe that buyer decides that, well, this inspector found too much, I'm out. So now you're not looking for a new buyer, and you're good to go.
Man, that is brilliant advice. Now, everyone, if you're looking to jump into the buying game, you can always reach out to me. But when you get ready to uncover the secrets of the home that you are buying, reach out to Nick Price here. He'd be happy to walk you through the process. Thank you, everyone. Bye.